2026 free agent class is off to a pretty horrible start, especially the hitters. Pitchers have been okay. We're going to tell you whether or not we're believing that these guys might not actually be that good or if they're going to bounce back. Before we do get going into it, make sure you are subscribed to the Windup so you don't miss out on any of the YouTube content. And if you're listening to us, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, drop us a rating, drop us a review, download, and subscribe. But first, we want to give a quick shout to today's sponsor, SeatGeek. The baseball season's underway. We've got the NBA playoffs, the World Cup's coming up. You need tickets to these events. Use our code WINDUP10 for 10% off your next purchase on SeatGeek, whether you're a first-time buyer or not. Link in the description, download the app. Again, maybe you're not interested in baseball or sports. SeatGeek has tickets to so many different events, including concerts, comedy shows, festivals, and so much more. The proof is in the number, guys. SeatGeek has been downloaded over 30 million times. It's the #1 rated ticketing app. Our personal favorite feature is their SeatGeek score. That's where they take tickets and rate them on a scale of 1 to 10 to let you know if you're getting a good deal or not. When searching for tickets, if you see a ticket with a score closer to 10 or a green dot on the map, that means it's a good deal. You should buy those tickets. When you see tickets with a score closer to 1 with a red or even orange dot on the map, that means not a great deal. You don't need to buy those. Avoid them. So once again, we've got the hookup for you guys. Use our code WINDUP10 for 10% off your next purchase on SeatGeek, whether you're a first-time buyer or not. So click the link in the description, download the SeatGeek app, and hopefully we see you at one of these events. Thank you to SeatGeek for sponsoring today's video. Now, let's get back to it. All right, James, let's just start off at the top, right? Kyle Tucker, $240 million contract for 4 years. He's been off to a bit of a shaky start right now with the Dodgers.
Yeah, and it's kind of scary just knowing how the shapes of Kyle Tucker's last few seasons went, where he couldn't sustain elite, but just knowing that it's the Dodgers and Kyle Tucker's still a great player. It's like maybe he'll just be bad in the first half and great in the second half. Like that, maybe that's just the way they're going to shape this whole thing. He's the guy I'm by far the least worried about from this entire class. Probably, where at the same time it's like it's a fat number for someone that's like kind of just like a regular average player in the middle of your lineup right now.
It's a conversation that I think happens in other sports more so than this, where it's basically impossible for Kyle Tucker to ever live up to the contract that he was given in terms of how much he's getting paid per year. But I do think he will be still a very good player. Like, all the underlying stuff is basically the same that's been throughout his career. There's not any real warning signs
the ball
right
is
now.
hard.
He was never really a hard hit guy, though, was he?
It was better than this.
Yeah, I guess. But also at the same time, I feel like get a little warmer in LA and all of a sudden those numbers are going to jump up. Like, I don't see him having a bad year by any means.
This also was just a high-priced, high-profile free agent class, and we just know year over year of watching and covering this game that you squeeze the bat tight when you sign that big contract. You do.
Yeah.
It's a lot of pressure on you when you sign that big contract. Whether or not that's being put on you, you have it yourself. Because all these guys, one, they're competitors, and like two, there's not like evil humans. Like they're like, I want to live up to this contract. I was paid a lot of money. I want to be worth it for my team.
Not Anthony Rendon.
No, besides him, but the people that like trusted me and gave me this money and like put their faith in me, like I wanted to make sure that they get, I come through for them. So that'll always come into play again a month into these contracts, but it still looks a lot worse for a lot of other guys, more so than Kyle Tucker.
Yeah, he's by far not the worst one. I think one of the best ones that we could talk about right now is the second highest paid guy from this class, Dylan Cease. What an absolute home run the Blue Jays hit with him. He looks fantastic. It looks like all the bad luck that happened last year is now going the other way.
And there's been a lot of great content about him. I know Lance Brozdowski was so excited, like the first Dylan Cease start of the year, because it was the first time he's finally got a changeup that he could use consistently, and that was like, it's been almost a decade in the making for Dylan Cease to figure out if he could use a changeup. He's throwing the knuckle curve again, too. He's even working on this new sweeper. Like, it's crazy that this was the skinniest repertoire guy his entire career. And they spent 2 months with Blue Jays pitching development. It's like, I actually have other pitches now. It's still mostly the fastball and slider, of course, but just that it's a usable changeup against lefties. It's unlocked a lot. He's running the best strikeout rate of his career so far. Like, he looks very, very, very good. And probably, like we said at the time, with that present-day value at only $26.7 million a year, probably one of the best deals that went out all of last offseason.
Yeah, what's funny is kind of all the pitchers are looking good now, even the ones that we doubted a little bit. Like, the pitching contracts have by far been the best in what was supposed to be a little bit of an underwhelming pitching class and a much better hitting class, where a lot of the hitters right now are the guys where it's like, oh, yikes, that feels like it could be an albatross. But Dylan Cease has looked great. The Blue Jays have not had a ton going right for them so far this year, but Cease and Gausman at the top of the rotation is a legitimate 1-2 of a postseason team.
And it's like it's so good that keep letting them hold water when it seems like everything else has gone wrong. Where Jeff Hoffman can't finish a save. Now Louis Varland looks like one of the best relievers in baseball. My fucking boy. But the lineup looks not very good. Injuries have done a lot to it. Injuries have hurt the back of their rotation. But like that team is treading water, and they're still very much in the picture in the American League, mostly because of that fantastic 1-2 at the top they have.
Yeah, and they just had injuries. So again, I think we talked about like we're not particularly worried about the Blue Jays. Just like you need to get healthy sooner than later.
Yeah, and I think they will. Yeah, we'll see.
Alex Bregman. This is one I think we should talk about.
It's a scary one, but he's finding it, and like this is another one where it's like he's such a veteran, and like I don't really have doubt. I don't know if he's going to be like 825 OPS Alex Bregman like he was last season, but I think that's more about the ballpark than anything about him. And again, I just think he'll wind up being a fine hitter and being like a good high floor guy like the rest of the Cubs. But I don't know. That was a contract we probably still wanted a bit more of a star ceiling, and I just don't know if you're getting that from him.
Yeah, he's basically the exact same player he's always been. You mentioned it's the ballparks now that are changing, where Wrigley is not a field that necessarily plays to Alex Bregman's game. He's a pull the ball down the line guy for his power, and Wrigley is deeper in left center field than it is sometimes in the corners. Deeper in the corners than it is sometimes in left center field. So for him, it's going to play a little bit awkwardly, but he's still getting on base a ton. He's still playing completely fine defense. I think he's -1 OAA, but again, this early in the season, that's good enough. It's not really anything to be concerned about. I wonder how he ages is my one concern, especially as a guy who needs to pull the ball to get to his power, and it's not a ballpark that plays to it. But similarly to Kyle Tucker, but to a lesser extent, again, because the money is also lesser, not nearly one of the guys I'm worried about right now when we look at some of these contracts that were given out in the free agency.
No, not at all. I feel like Bregman, his pulled fly ball rate is still like in line where it's been his whole career, but he has 3 home runs this season looking at his spray chart right now. One he launched over the left field wall, very deep home run. One was just to the left field side of center field, and one was like into the basket. That's a home run you kind of only get in Wrigley Field into right center. So weirdly enough, like he actually has gotten good power production purely in terms of home runs right now relative to his batted ball spray, but he's probably just going to meander to a 770 OPS and be like a 3 to 4 win player, which is kind of what the money he gets this year dictates him to be.
How about Cody Bellinger?
Cody Bellinger looks weird.
Yeah, he does look weird.
All the weirdness with Cody Bellinger signing that monster contract, you were like, oh, this actually might be kind of weird. Like it's hard to chastise like the Yankees right now because they're just so good right now. Like they actually might be the best team in baseball. That could be a hot take of mine, but it's the weirdness of Cody Bellinger the last few years where the batted ball quality is not great, but he got to power just because of where he was putting all of his batted balls. Right now, he's just not pulling and lifting it the same way. So it's like, all right, maybe it probably will come when the weather gets warmer, but I don't know, you might have paid very, very premium money for like a 20 home run, 770 OPS corner outfielder.
Now, if he keeps getting on base like he does and playing the good defense that he has, just put him in front of Aaron Judge, and it's gonna do all the work for you as long as he's on base. Because
you want some slug though.
Yeah, but I mean, for how much you're paying, you want slug, but he's probably still gonna run to 25, 30 home runs. He's gonna have a month where he gets hot and hits it down the line and goes 298 to right field, and it's a home run.
And that'll get him to around 800 OPS. Where if you get that every year with good outfield defense, you're gonna flirt with a 5-win player, and then then the contract makes it worth it. But it's like, I wonder what 34-year-old Cody Bellinger looks like. But also at the same time, like, who cares? The fuck cares what 34 Cody Bellinger looks like? The Yankees won a World Series this year. You know what's not going to matter? What Cody Bellinger looks like in 4 years.
Especially because we are now talking about one of the possible scary contracts, and that's Pete Alonso. And it's not because we doubt Pete Alonso as a player. Again, I think Pete can be good, very, very good this year, next year, the following year. But the new version of Pete Alonso that we're seeing is not the version of Pete Alonso that the Orioles paid for. And honestly, it's not the version of Pete Alonso that he should ever be.
It's also definitely not the version of Pete Alonso that the Mets had got last year and enjoyed. Pete Alonso has weirdly in his career, like especially the last 5 years, seems like he's gone back and forth with the kind of the player he wants to be, where this year he has a longer swing and his bat speed is slower. That to me it'd be flashing, blinking, blaring, red flags around, where it seems like maybe there was some emphasis to lean into the opposite field power because that's kind of where the power alley at Camden Yards for him might actually be, but now he's not able to get it out there because the bat speed's down. His attack direction is on average to the opposite field. Like he's still hitting the ball very hard, very consistently, but he's just not doing it in the air as much. He's also not pulling it as much. The power production is not there. And right now, we're going to talk about this guy in a second, but at the time we're recording this, Pete Alonso has a lower batting average, fewer RBIs, and barely a higher OPS than Bichette, who if you were like us, deeply inside the Mets media world, all you hear about is how the Mets need Pete Alonso. And it's like, whoa, the second people start talking about Pete Alonso's defense is how you know that Pete Alonso had a bad start.
Yeah, the crazy thing for me, like you mentioned, is the pulled in the air. We know that Camden Yards now plays bigger to left field because of what they've done with that fence. But we also know that if you put the ball in the air to center and right field, there's more space, and you're just going to run to outs. You don't hit the ball as pure. You don't hit it as well. It's worse. Your batting average, your power, everything's going to go down. So for that to be the profile that they want, their power hitting guy that they're paying $155 million to over the next 5 years, it feels insane to me. Like, just Pete is so good at power that I don't know how much that left field truly would have affected him if he just did the same thing.
Well, we know a few years ago Pete did go to outside hitting help, and it
Yeah.
helped him a lot. He like last year, he had the bat speed up with the shorter swing. It looked like he was a new version of himself. Of course, a lot of it was still geared towards the opposite field. But he was pulling enough of the fly balls where it was fine. But also Pete did kind of last year ride like a really red hot first 8 weeks of the season.
Yes.
To basically buoy his stats to where they looked to lead for the whole season, but it was really just a really, really good first 2 months, and then it kind of was okay. And Pete's also right now, I'd be a little concerned with the swing decisions from the Orioles' perspective. We're seeing a version of Pete Alonso that was much more similar to the version of Pete Alonso from 2 years ago with the Mets when we were nervous about him, when he couldn't even get a multi-year contract, where he was a little bit too timid in the zone. He just seemed like his pitch selection was a little bit off. Remember, we did that whole diatribe on Mets stuff about the struggles in the heart of the zone. Pete's doing that right now, where he's laying off the heart of the zone. He's also mashing the heart of the zone into the ground. So it's a situation where this is, even after a month of play, and Pete Alonso's a veteran, he will get his numbers this year.
Love Pete. Want him to do well.
He'll definitely get those numbers next year, but these are the kind of underlying things that I'm sure has some people in Baltimore a little bit afraid of what this contract could look. This one specifically could look like more so in 3 or 4 years than the other guys, because you don't have the high on base percentage to carry you. You don't have the good defense to carry you. Like, it's going to be one that Pete Alonso has to hit over the length of his contract 140 home runs to make this worth it.
Yeah, probably.
So it's like we're going to start counting those.
Yeah. Kyle Schwarber, the other big slugger that got paid this offseason. I mean, the only reason this contract looks crazy is because of how insane the Phillies are playing right now and the fact that you gave that to the 33-year-old DH. But, I mean, while the average is down, he's still hitting power at an absolutely elite level. So that's all they really cared about, I think.
For sure, but this was kind of a fear I felt like with Kyle Schwarber. When the Phillies gave him this contract, I was like, that's a fine contract. You don't usually want to give 5 years to 33-year-old DHs, but you're like, this power is so good, and he's such a good like clubhouse guy, locker room guy. You're willing to do it, but you're seeing a version of Kyle Schwarber that looks oddly too similar to the 2023 version. That was like a bit of a scary moment if you had him on a 5-year deal, but still, like I don't care what his batting average is. If the OPS gets to 900 and needs 40 home runs, like this is worth it. And also one that
Honestly, 850, you still take it too.
We'll be honest, it's a tradable contract.
Yeah, there's probably teams that will take him.
You won't get much back. You might have to give a little. You might have to give a sweetener with it, but you could trade this contract.
And again, it only feels weird because
They're gonna get mad at me for saying that.
Yeah, it only would ever feel weird, this contract, is because if the Phillies continue to play poorly, not a playoff team, you're like, oh, that was a little gross to give a DH that much money when we had bigger issues.
And that many years.
Yes. But still, Kyle Schwarber's awesome. This is not even close to a bad contract by any means.
No, not at all.
Ranger Suarez, someone who started off horribly. It's been looking good recently.
Nasty.
Looking nasty recently. Maybe you just need a little extended spring training there for Ron Hare, Ranger Suarez. Especially with Garrett Crochet going down. I mean, thank God they had him.
And Sonny Gray going down. Like, this is really a sigh of relief for the Red Sox.
And Brian Bayo being useless.
Being terrible, yeah. Even with Peyton Toley and Conley early looking nice. The very lefty-heavy rotation. But Suarez looks great. It's kind of similar to what we're talking about these other guys. Like, we figured with the driveline Red Sox there'd be a plan to try and coax another tick out of the fastball, and they just haven't. So we'll see again year 3, but year 3 won't matter if this team pulls it together. If this team doesn't pull it together, then it might be kind of funky. A lot of pitch shape changes on Ranger Suarez too, which I think are pretty interesting. A lot more cutters. That seems like a pitch a lot of the league is kind of leaning into, and Ranger Suarez's cutter is that one specifically is coming in ticking a half harder, less overall movement, but coming in harder. So maybe they saw something. That's a pitch that's been very effective for him so far. He looks great.
Looks great.
For all of the hate I've spewed on Ranger Suarez, you wouldn't believe how many fancy teams I have him on and how I'm
probably
reaping
every
those
single
rewards
one.
at the moment. So many, because
I was able to pick him up in a redraft league with 12 teams. I couldn't even believe it.
Is that insider trading?
It might be.
People are like, oh, these guys think Ranger Suarez sucks. I'm like, I'll take him on my team.
It's kind of sick, honestly. We should start doing that.
I took him in like a 15-team league as like my 7th starting pitcher. I was like, this is way too good.
Yeah. So value is value.
Yeah, and he was great. Again, great value fantasy. We'll see what this value looks like in 3 years of the contract, but he looks tremendous.
Well, one of the worst contracts so far. This is the worst contract, probably, right?
I mean, I think it's either him or Pete, undoubtedly.
Yeah.
It's one of the two.
Mets would have done one of them. So
Yeah.
that's the worst part about this entire thing is that the Mets would have done the worst contract to either of these guys. But Bo Bichette looks really bad.
At the plate.
At the
Oddly
plate.
enough, third base, he looks plus.
He looks fine at third base. He's completely average at third base.
I think him being completely average and we're still in April is telling me that, like, by July 4th, like, this could be, like, a good third baseman.
I won't go there.
I'm saying it definitely could be.
I'm just going to take completely average and say that's a huge win. The problem is at the plate, it is. I mean, I think Blue Jays fans kind of warned us about this, but
Yeah.
he is so hard to watch at the plate at times.
I have a crazy stat about Bo Bichette and I'm putting in my video. I don't know when this is coming out, but on Thursday. I guess
This is
these are
coming
gonna
out
go-
Thursday, too.
Oh, okay. So these are gonna fight against each other, my channel and this channel.
What
but,
time's yours going out?
4, 5, or 6, whenever it gets done.
All right. You let me know.
Yeah, we'll plan. But so Bo Bichette has really in his career been very consistent outside that really disastrous 2024 season. He got his OPS above 600 on Tuesday night, his 29th game of the season. If Bo Bichette has an 0 for 5 on Wednesday in his 30th game, this will be the only time in Bo Bichette's entire career, outside the 2024 season, where he had a 30-game stretch with an OPS below 600. If you bump that up to 650, he's had like 1 or 2 of those every year because he's a bit more of a streaky player with all the swinging and all the chasing and all of the opposite field and all the ground balls that he loves to hit. But this is a scary level of streakiness that Bo Bichette, the only time this ever happens when he did this for a whole season.
Yeah, it's just the swing decisions and the bat speed with the swing decisions and the fact that he seems allergic to walking. Doesn't really seem to
Always
ever
has
be.
been.
Doesn't seem to be even interested in thinking about the idea of taking a pitch. He hasn't seen a pitch he doesn't like. The difference is that he doesn't hit the ball particularly hard. So you
No, he
should
does. He hits the ball hard.
like into the ground.
Yeah, but he still hits it hard.
Yeah, I guess that's fine. Into the ground, he hits it hard. In the air, he does not.
No, but that's kind of the player Bo Bichette's always been. That's the player that was
Makes
coveted
me scared.
among 2 division rivals this season. This is the guy where, like, if the Mets had actually signed him to the 7-year deal the Phillies were offering him, I would be having convulsions right now.
It would truly change my opinion of David Stearns. This one makes me go, come on, man. What were we thinking here a little bit?
I mean, I think what they were thinking was, like, if we move him to third base, we think he could be at least lean plus there, and then we think the bat will be consistent. Like this, because all the conversations that happen around all of these big teams are struggling. Like we just talked to you guys about the Mets, the Red Sox, the Phillies. From the Mets' perspective, Bo Bichette was the P. Alonso replacement.
I mean, even to the Orioles' perspective.
Yeah, and honestly, to the Phillies' perspective, because they tried to give him a long-term deal.
Yeah.
But like it's a funny thing right now where a lot of this Mets season is going to be relying on how much Bo Bichette drags himself out of this. And right now, again, we're seeing the glimmers. The last week, he's looked good again.
Better.
He's especially looked good back in the leadoff spot, which is a funny thing. Like that's the Mets move. You're struggling, go to the leadoff spot, and that again, luckily that's happening right now. But I just hate that it's so clear that we're watching a player press.
Yes.
Which is the thing that's giving me confidence. Like this is the most, even Bo Bichette as a heavy chaser, is the most he's ever chased. So this is a guy who's trying to get it all back with one swing every single time. And again, maybe just play well, stack some wins, take a deep breath. I think he'll be okay. And thankfully, it's a 3-year deal.
Yeah, thankfully, that he will definitely be doing the entirety of, I feel like, at this point.
I mean, unless some crazy happens, but we'll see.
Framber Valdez. Just good.
fine.
Just good. Good
Same
old
guy.
Framber. Yeah.
He's not. Maybe the ceiling on Framber has changed, but like he's incredibly solid. There's been no market changes with him at the Tigers. They mix and match their infield a little bit when he pitches, though. Not sure if you've seen that. Like they go heavy defense lineup for Framber because they don't really have a great infield defense, but he's solid as always. He's not getting the strikeouts anymore.
I do wonder if because that ballpark's so big and how it plays, if he's just like, yeah, just put
Don't
the ball
care.
in play. Put the ball in play. It's pretty unlikely that you actually do any significant damage to me because you don't barrel it. So, yeah, keep hitting ground balls.
Yeah, hopefully. But again, it's a nice piece for the Tigers. That's also similar to them with the Blue Jays. Help them stay afloat with the 2 guys at the top in what's been a bad start to the season.
Josh Naylor.
Weird one, too.
Weird one, too. We kind of talked about this as a guy that we were worried about this season just because his profile is got to be one of the weirdest we've ever seen at first base, and it fluctuates more than anybody that we've seen year to year. It's kind of crazy. I don't think he's going to be as bad as he is right now, but I don't think that you can guarantee that Josh Naylor is going to be like an 800 OPS guy, which I don't know if you feel good about that.
I mean, it's a similar thing we talked about with Bo, where it's a player who's approach is imperfect, but it's worked for them for a long time. So you have to give them credit for how long they've been productive. And it's two guys who are still in their late 20s rather than their early 30s, which when we talk about the long-term deals with Alex Bregman and Pete Alonso, it's like, oh, yeah. And even Bellinger, because he is 30. Like, years 4 and 5 might get dicey. These guys, even with Naylor in a 5, it's like, it probably is okay.
Yes.
And as streaky players, a beginning of the season streak matters way more in the way that we view.
Oh, of course, right. It's April 29th. We only have the beginning of the season. We could be talking about him on August and it could be like a 750 OPS and you'd be like, okay. Like
Yeah, it's totally fine.
And because he'll get to that 750 OPS by August, from now till then, he'll probably have like an 820 OPS, so he'll feel like he's playing really good because he is.
It's just when we have the discourse and when you're at the ball game, you look up on the scoreboard and you see 212 average for Bichette, you see the 595 OPS, you're like, oh shit, like that's really bad. But these are notoriously hot and cold hitters, so it's just, it'll line up.
Yeah, spin zone. Like seeing these guys get their OPS to 750, they're going to be playing some awesome baseball down the stretch, and teams will be like, okay, we'll take it every single time. It's the Francisco Lindor thing that we always have every single year with him, where he has the worst month of April, and then he plays 900 OPS baseball with Gold Glove defense for the rest of the season.
And again, it's just you know you feel it right now because you see that those are my stats. Oh, I hate those stats. Those are bad stats. But it's I trust at least those two guys a lot to pull themselves out of it.
Quick Michael King talk.
Michael King's great.
He's been great. Padres has been great.
Every team wanted to sign him for the exact contract he wound up signing. I think the reason is they knew he'd be good, but everyone was always scared to do more because we know he will likely break.
Yep, but so far he's been great, and that's all you can say.
Nothing else to say.
Edwin Diaz?
Catastrophe?
Scary. I would be extremely nervous if I was. Well, I mean, the
But
Dodgers don't care. But like, if I'm a Dodgers fan, I'd be like, really?
They don't
dude?
care either. They care very
don't?
little. It was beneath one of our videos, maybe one of my videos. They were like, "Oh, this is classic Mets fan cope saying Edwin's on a bad contract." It's like this is a bad contract now.
Yeah.
The fact that he got injured a month into this deal, it's like, oh, that should be terrifying. He's
Throwing 95.
You don't want Edwin Diaz throwing 95. Again, he still has the lead extension. He still looks like he'll be a great pitcher. But they're like, oh, as long as he's back for August, we're fine. So it's like we are playing different games than the
Must
Dodgers
be
right now
nice,
because they just literally do not care. But they should probably be like a sliver of true worry among Dodgers fans going for a three-peat about their bullpen.
Yes, definitely. But Tanner Scott's also looked pretty good. So
He blew a save right after that Friday night.
he's going to blow saves. Stuff
That's
looks
what I'm
good.
saying. That's what I'm saying. It's a little different.
Want to just lump all the Japanese guys together in this next little one?
Not really.
Why?
Let's separate them.
Why? Oh, okay. Well, I mean, in terms of how we talk, we're going to go Okamoto.
1, 2, 3.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3. I'm not saying that they're doing the same thing. That would be insane.
Yeah.
Okamoto, it's already been a tale of two seasons for him because
It's been a month.
he's been scalding hot for the last week and a half. Was great to start the year, horrible for the middle 2 weeks. I don't know what kind of player we see. One thing that is true, though, the barrel rate when he makes contact is great. He's got the bat speed up, so the David Popkin school of hitting's happening. Maybe now we're just seeing him get comfortable with this new version of himself because, again, the last week he's been phenomenal.
And we've seen the max exit velocity from him, which is something that I think I helped put some people onto last year. That he had that 112 mile per hour batted ball against Daniel Palencia, and then he had an 84 mile hour swing on that. So we're like, oh, this is probably plus. The thing that Blue Jays fans and a lot of people were leaning on with Okamoto was that he would be a bat to ball guy, no swing and miss, no strikeouts. And I want to shout out Eric Longenhagen from Fangraphs because in his scouting round of Okamoto, I think it was like almost 2 years ago now, he was like, if Okamoto comes to the major leagues and he's adjusting to the high velocity, I think he struggles with breaking balls low and away. And if you look at Okamoto, Eno Saris posted it the other day. If you look at his swing and miss, it's all breaking balls low and away.
Whoa.
But, and Mike Petriello were kind of tag teaming some analysis there that Okamoto now, I think, has moved back in the box and moved the intercept point up. So maybe it's just letting him hunt the fastballs before he has to get to the breaking balls. But whatever, there's been a bit of a change already from David Popkin's school of hitting that's helped Okamoto find something through. And he feels like he's going to be a good player, but not a great player, which is kind of what the feeling was going through. This just feels like the opposite version of what we thought, opposite type of player we thought we'd see.
I still got all the exact same faith I have in him. I weirdly kind of fuck with the fact that he's swinging and missing this much. He's taking war. He's going up there. He's like trying to do some damage. I love seeing that kind of shit.
But it is funny is that this is the reason that I think when a lot of people, us included, were going through some free agency talk, it was like, oh, you probably want Okamoto more than Murakami because more bat to ball, better defense, steadier floor. Right now, Okamoto and Murakami, strikeout rates are not that different, and Murakami is like the best raw power in Major League Baseball.
Yeah, what Murakami's doing right now, talking about him, this is the best contract signed this entire offseason. It's not even close.
I think so far it definitely is. We're also in a situation where with him, I don't know how he. I mean, again, maybe just because they're going to be so scared of him. The 17% walk rate, 35% strikeout rate, 45% whiff rate. That can, and again, that's actually unless this even includes today. He drew 3 more walks today. So again, if people stay scared of him, I think he'll be great. I'm so fascinated to see how this thing turns out.
Yeah, like what's going to be the adjustment the league makes to him, because we have 30-game sample now basically of him, 150 plate appearances. He obviously, like, it is really funny to look at like his batters balls per zone. Put it in the middle of the plate, it's going 450 feet. There's no shot. You can't throw it there. So you have to live on the shadows. But because he has such an amazing eye, he just won't swing at the balls. He never does.
Yeah, I feel bad because I put out that stab on Murakami that it was so wrong and got ran with. But then on this channel of my own, I was like, I gave some pretty good Murakami analysis. I was like, kind of nailed this shit. But
you did.
Yeah, kind of.
That being said, can't hit the balls up in the zone. That's probably where you're going to start attacking him, is velo up in the zone.
And the funniest thing is, like, when you look back at projections, like, a lot of the projection systems just pegged Murakami for, like, a 200 average, a 300 on base, and 35 homers. So got him to around 800 OPS. And I think, right now he looks like an MVP candidate.
Yeah.
But I think that's probably still where we wind up. And I think that's just probably how this thing goes.
And also, for the money that he got, it's
one of the best contracts in the league.
One of the best contracts in the league. Again, one of the most tradable contracts in the entire league.
I honestly think the White Sox right now, they're on such a vibe with him, Vargas, and Colson Montgomery.
I don't think they're even considering it right now. But, like, I mean, if their White Sox are out of it, like we know that they will be probably around the trade deadline, you probably get a haul for Murakami right now.
I think you do, but like that would be crushing for a fan base that's having fun for the first time in 5 years. Like, I can't see that happen to these guys. Like,
Reinsdorf's going to be like, we're getting asses in seats right now. We can't trade this guy.
That's what I'm saying. And I just will say, because I have to say it, so right now the major league average whiff rate on any pitch above 95 miles per hour is about between 22 and 23%. And Murakami's is 40%.
Yeah, I mean, we know what the issue is. It's just, also, sometimes, like, you run in, you get hot.
Also, like, it is the thing where he's going to force you to make a mistake because he has one of the best eyes in the league, which is one of the things I shouted out when we were talking about him. I was like, I think his swing decisions are going to come plus. And they are right now some of the best swing decisions in baseball. It's just the fact of he will miss the ball in the zone, but if he connects, it's going. I think he still is like basically the same with home runs and singles with no doubles.
Yes. Yeah, no doubles
awesome
for him, I believe.
I love this guy.
It's kind of sick.
It's so cool. It's so much fun.
And then last Japanese player to talk about, Tatsuya Imi.
Yeah.
This one is tough. It's tough, like, all around, because the stuff's actually not really looked that bad. It seems like everything else around him is failing him.
Yes, and this was a big article. I'm finding it on The Athletic right now. I'm not sure if it was Chandler Rome or Spencer Nussbaum, but it was basically like...
I think Nussbaum is the Nationals? No?
Maybe he's Nationals now, but it was... These guys move around all the time. But it was an undertone of... that the Astros were not setting up Imai for success at all, because there was a report that came out from Chandler Rome that Imai burned through 3 translators in his first, like, month and a half in America. Steven Nesbitt. It was Steven Nesbitt and Sam Blum together, yeah. Astros pitcher Tatsuya Imi hasn't taken to MLB right away. Is it some of it the team he chose? And they basically talked about how the Astros just kind of signed him opportunistically, and they were the only team willing to actually give him a 1-year deal so we could retest free agency, and how the support has been kind of in and out. And this team right now is a mess, a complete and utter mess. And
disaster.
At the same time, like, Imi just threw his first rehab start. He looked horrible in it again. It was always going to be a weird repertoire fit in Major League Baseball, which we talked about a lot. And now it's like he probably needs some help.
Yeah, it seems like just for, like, him as a person might need some help right now. I can't imagine how difficult it is, one, to come over to America from Japan, not know the language, learn it on the fly, playing in a baseball team in a market that expects to have some winning right now. So there's a lot of pressure on you in a rotation that absolutely stinks. You're supposed to be a big part of it. And then, two, when you have all those difficulties and you're not getting the best results either, it's got to feel like the world's falling in and caving in on you.
But yeah, for a lot of these guys, not him specifically, because he wasn't like as phenom-ish. He kind of grinded a little bit more through the MPB, and he had more success the last few years than his first few years. But like this is a tremendous level of struggle for a guy. Again, went the last few years not having it, and also probably got his confidence really kicked in by the way that contract negotiation went down. Where Murakami kind of felt like that might have happened too, and he said, "Fuck the world."
He did. He was like, "I'm going to show you. I'm going to do exactly what you doubted me but you also knew I would do."
You want to see some tanks?
Yeah, I'm going to hit 450-foot bombas.
God, he's so many, and no doubles.
No doubles. Fun. So much fun to watch.
I love Murakami. I've been watching White Sox games. That was my sneaky bold prediction coming to the year. This would be a fun team to watch.
That was. We'll see how it looks in August.
Let's see. I mean, right now they're fun. We've got a month through.
I love seeing that every 16 minutes the light goes in and out. It's just such a lock.
on the timer.
On the timer. All right, go bunch up these relievers here again in order with Devin Williams, Robert Suarez.
Yeah, these are starting to hurt now.
Yeah, a little bit.
Especially because Devin Williams, the Mets, he looks dreadful.
Looks really bad. The airbender does not even move even remotely like it did before.
It's not bending air. He's getting a different level of. I saw Tom Dangle put a thread about it on Twitter, which was way above my pay grade, about the active spin, getting gyro spin, and their seam shifted wake, and I was like, okay, I got to read this when I'm more focused. But he looks awful. Robert Suarez looks amazing. Jeremy Hefner really got him going with this new cutter.
Again.
He looks sensational. Even Tyler Rogers looks awesome right now in front of a very good defensive Toronto Blue Jays team. With the fourth-year option, that's crazy, but still, he looks nasty doing it. If we want to keep bunching relievers, like Ryan Helsley looks very good too.
Yeah, everybody except the Mets guys.
Yeah, even when the guy that was bad, the Mets leaves the Mets. I mean, Helsley too. He's throwing a new splitter. I don't know if you've noticed that.
I haven't noticed, no.
2 outings ago is the most he'd ever thrown in a single outing in his career. And it was his primary pitch for 1 inning. The save was the last Friday before, whenever it was. But he looks very good. Blew a save, and I think he's on bereavement right now, but looks just great. And this is, again, feels like the Mets really got the worst of this crew.
Yeah, Mets had a rough offseason. Rough.
So far, it looks very bad.
Yeah, because Jorge Polanco's just not even been on the field, and when he hasn't been good. So there's another one that's been a bad move by the Mets.
No, I mean, Heyman's already out here talking that the Mets are looking for a thumper in the middle of their order.
Really? He put that out today?
He said that today, yeah.
Good. You know what? Good. I want to see David Stearns with a little bit of little pep in his
Little
step.
fire under his seat.
Yeah, a little hot seat there for David Stearns, maybe.
And then, again, because one of the biggest differences between these relievers talk about, not Tyler Rogers, because he's a unicorn. Push him out of the way on this conversation. It's just, we like relievers that throw hard.
Yep.
And Devin Williams does not throw hard. He's a 2-pitch reliever that doesn't throw hard.
Get accused of it all the time. All you guys care about is velo. I go, do you see how it matters? Do you see how it plays? Edwin Diaz went from 98 to 95, and all of a sudden, it's a worry.
And then Robert Suarez is still sitting 99. He's dominant.
Yep. You can't really. Guys who throw hard and throw it in the zone typically do pretty well.
Yeah, and that's kind of where the problem is Devin Williams right now.
Other guys we want to highlight real quick, because now we're kind of going into these like ancillary contracts, smaller deals. Pick some guys off that you'd like to shout out, James.
JT Realmuto just being aggressively mid for a very big catcher contract for a guy in his late 30s.
Ryan O'Hearn being great.
Ryan O'Hearn's awesome. That was a big miss by a lot of teams. Even just side note, big miss by a lot of teams. Like no one wanting to take on the Christian Walker contract, and he looks completely back right now. It's funny. Merrill Kelly looks terrible. Cody Ponce got injured. Shame for him. Mike Yastrzemski in a 2-year deal with a 500 OPS. That was a little bit of a miss by me.
The Rays doing the Rays thing of taking Nick Martinez and Steven Matz, and you're like, you're great. You're fantastic.
Yeah, just at least be better than most teams expect. And now we can trade you guys to the deadline and get Brady Hopkins this time. The combination contracts that happened 10 minutes after one another of Brad Keller and Luke Weaver, neither look that good right now.
Nope.
Weaver has some dog in him. Keller's kind of been thrust into the closer. They both kind of been thrust into their closer roles, and we'll see if those two guys on 2-year deals who have been up and down over the course of their career, let's see if they can level out. Emilio Pagan just looks nice again. Seranthony Dominguez looks kind of nice.
Is there any guys on like these short-term contracts that it's like, ooh, like a little good find there? I feel like not particularly. Like this.
I mean, Rysel looked really nice before he got injured.
Yeah, but like even then, like I don't know if that was like considered like one of the smaller fringy contracts. I guess Gregory Soto's been awesome for the Pirates. Got to give him his shout out.
He has been awesome, but around the corner, Luis Arraez is stealing bases and playing good defense.
Yeah, that's a shock.
Just say that. Yeah, that's pretty crazy. Zach Eflin's career might be over. That's a shame.
The rest of the free agent class was kind of
Soroka. Soroka's the big one.
Soroka's a good one. That's a good shout because the Diamondbacks have been a bit of a surprise team, I think, in that they're playing competitive baseball, and a big reason why, and something that we talked about, is their pitching has been horrible, but Soroka coming in and being good, not even just like stable, being good. That's huge for the D-backs.
Even like Josh Bell, like the Twins are probably going to start free falling any second now, but like him being a better than league average bat through a month, it helped them like have almost a 500 month until they somehow lost to the Mets. Foster Griffin coming over from the NPB has actually been nice.
Yeah. He's been good.
He's been mixing, kitchen sinking it with no velocity. He's been having a fun time doing it.
He's gonna pitch. Does he pitch against the Mets this week? Do we miss him?
No, I hope we miss him. He's gonna destroy the Mets if he pitches against us.
We'll probably get Jake Irvin and Miles. We get Jake Irvin and Miles Michaelis, I believe.
I know we have Miles Michaelis. I don't know who the last guy was. But otherwise, like down here in this list, keep scrolling. Jake Junis has gotten some saves. And Caleb Thielbar was nice before he got injured. Jake Junis was nice, and he was not so nice. Tyler Kinley right now is like the worst pitcher in baseball holding runners on.
Yes.
People are stealing like crazy against Tyler Kinley, which is a strange development. Miguel Rojas kind of hitting for power. Max Scherzer looks cooked.
But Tyler Kinley, all the other stuff looks great.
Yeah, it looks great. For some reason, he can't hold a runner on, which is funny. Jordan Romano's already been cut by the Angels.
Yeah, that was the most obvious one ever.
But that was like that was a weird vibe. I don't even think they've won a game since they cut him. It seems like it seems like he kind of had a spat with Kurt Suzuki on the mound. Did you see the highlight?
No, I take in as little Angels baseball as possible.
You're missing out because every single time the Angels play a game, it's fucking chaos, but it's fun to watch.
Yeah, I mean, I think they've blown like 6 games since they got rid of Jordan Romano too, right?
I think they've basically blown safe since. I'm not sure if they've won a game since. They've now taken over the most losses in baseball mantle, thankfully, because the Mets actually won a handful of games in the last week. But otherwise, like this, I mean, MJ Melendez, he's been nice for the Mets. Patrick Corbin's pitching, starting games for the Blue Jays. That was a crazy contract that got given out.
I know Kenley Jansen, I think, blew a game this week, but he won't die. Still doing all the stuff that he always does, which is
He looks so good.
Yeah, he looks phenomenal. And Tigers, I mean, that's, again, I know they started slow. That's a team keep an eye out for. They're going to be good.
Tigers, Mariners, Yankees, and I think one of the other AL East teams will find a way to get hot, and the guards aren't going away. But I think there's a fun AL race this year.
Yeah, it's a more competitive AL, but I do think those are the 3 still clear best teams in the American League. Otherwise, 2026 free agent class has not been good.
Bad first month.
We'll check in. We'll check in around the All-Star break, let you guys know how they're all doing. Make sure you're subscribed to the
one last one.
Oop.
Marcell Ozuna belongs in jail.
Yeah, he stinks, and that couldn't happen to a better guy.
We also forgot to mention Eugenio Suarez, who's had a bad start, but I feel like he will heat up.
Yeah, I weirdly have no worries about him.
No, not whatsoever.
Subscribe to The Windup over on YouTube. Listen to us, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts. We do appreciate you. You can follow James on social media at
James Shiano.
I'm Draft Nick Mark. We'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace out.